Santa Fe State Capitol. We are in the Roundhouse for STEAM Day today. I'm here with State Auditor Bill McCamley.
State Secretary of Workforce Solutions.
Oh, Secretary of Workforce Solutions.
I lost the race for auditor. She had to bring that back up.
I'm sorry. That's when I met you. Sorry.
It's all right.
What do you see really being the main kind of focus today? What this really drives us to do, and where this brings New Mexico?
Yeah, so I'm Secretary of the Workforce Solutions Department. Our job is to try to hook people that want jobs up with employers that want to employ you. And nowhere is that a bigger gap in New Mexico than with science, technology, engineering, and math. The labs need people, the aerospace folks like Virgin Galactic down in Las Cruces need people. There's all sorts of healthcare needs in the state. And so if you want to go get an education in one of these great topics and you're excited about it, we are excited with you. We want you to get that education, and we want you to stay in New Mexico. And the things we're talking about today are, how do we make sure that everybody's got those opportunities here in the state? And one of the things that we want to do is create a STEM championship, just like a basketball team or a football team. Because athletics works, like people feel good about it. They go in, they get a lot of, they get a letter, if you win, you get the banner on the gym, and there's a lot of social reward for that. And it teaches teamwork, and it teaches competition, and it's awesome. But if you're an athlete, in high school, you are 0.001% chance of playing pro. If you go into healthcare, if you go into engineering or physics, you are going to go pro. There is a 100% chance that you will get a job, and you can get a great job here in New Mexico. So we want to make sure there's a coach at every middle and high school in the state for STEM teams, and create a championship at the end so people can get letters and banners and have all that real social reward, which they deserve, because this is a really important thing.
So today, and also just since the beginning of the legislative session a couple of days ago, there has been a lot of noise around this administration with Governor Lujan Grisham and everything that she's putting into this, fight for education. So would you talk a little bit about that and how that is different, in these more recent times?
Well, Governor Lujan Grisham believes very, very strongly in a couple things. Number one, she wants to create an economy that works for everybody. You shouldn't just be a millionaire and do well. Everyone should have a chance to do well. That starts with a good education. If you've got a good education and you can get a degree or a certificate, and you want to be a physicist, that's fine, but it's also great if you want to be a welder, if you want to be a nurse, if you want to be an electrician. These are really well-paying jobs. I tell people, I have a master's from Harvard. My girlfriend has a 2-year degree from Doña Ana Community College. She's a medical tech. She does radiology. Until 12 days ago, 15 days ago, she made a lot more than I did, right? And that's okay too, but everybody's got to have that opportunity, starting when you're really, really little. So Governor Lujan Grisham really wants to push early childhood education. She wants to make sure teachers in public schools are paid a respectable wage, and she wants to create opportunities for every student in the state to get a good job here. And that's part of my job, and one of the reasons I'm so excited to be working with her for everybody.
So what is your motivation and your driving force from your own life and experience and just your observations of New Mexico? What makes this such, yes, it's the age of technology and science, all of these things, but what does that mean to you?
So when I was in high school at Mayfield down in Las Cruces, I was on the academic decathlon team. And we also had a science bowl team, and we did pretty good. We got third in state my junior year, but half the people on the academic decathlon team were on the science bowl team, so they were all my friends. They won state our junior year and went to the national competition and got 7th in the country. The problem was the guy who was the coach was our biology teacher, Mr. Schock. He didn't get paid anything, and he said, I'm putting so much time and effort into this, I can't do this for free anymore, which is reasonable. But the students, the senior year, they said, we want to keep doing this. So what did they do? They went to Mr. Dorn, the art teacher, and said, will you be our science coach? They did all the work themselves. They won state again. They went and got 9th in the national competition, which is amazing. But the next year, no science bowl. So our job is to say, how do we as a state promote teachers and students that are excited about being scientists, about being engineers, and consistently support them throughout their schooling, and to show how important that is for everybody. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks a
for
lot.
speaking with me, and I really appreciate your enthusiasm as a student. It means a lot to see you pushing forward.
Well, and we just want to say to you, to all the students out there watching this, keep up the passion, keep up the energy, keep up the interest, because it does matter, and you're going to make a better community for yourselves and all your neighbors, and that's awesome. Cool.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. I
I'm
appreciate it.
to talk to us. All right, and I have no idea who's coming up next. They're just going to come right on. Maple. There you go. Hi, I'm Maple.
I'm here with the After School Robotics Club from Pinota Elementary. Into camera view here. So why don't you start by introducing yourselves?
Okay, so I'm William Wakala. I'm in 6th grade, and I'm part of the After School Club at Pinota.
I'm Mylene Gonzalez, and I am part of the After School Robotics and Coding Club.
I'm Carol Sharma. I'm in 6th grade and also part of the After School Robotics and Science Club.
My name is Isaiah Senna. I'm part of the After School Robotics Club.
Okay, so you guys work in STEM and coding and robotics and Scratch, right? So you are going to a competition soon, I hear. Which competition is that?
Next robotics competition.
It's really awesome. Why do you think that STEM is important for our growing community and for kids just like you?
Well, it teaches you how to engineer, problem solving, how to connect stuff, and it teaches you about motors, how to improvise, how to control, sometimes how to
And that is very important with so much technology now in this day and age. And what do any of you want to pursue careers in STEM? That's awesome. When did you start thinking about it, and how have you grown through it?
So we started about 2 years ago, like a year to 2 years ago, and starting with the after school, and then us girls went to the EYH conference for STEM, and so that kind of pushed us into thinking that, STEM is something that we could pursue.
And what grade are you in?
6, all of us.
That's great. Well, this is a really cool robot. What does it do? What's it for?
So the purpose of it, when we go to the competition, it's supposed to go under that, and I think flip it and
Yeah,
get
so
the
it'll
point.
flip it to whatever side that you, whatever team you're on. And then if it's like we're on the red team and we flip it there, we get like 1 to 2 points.
That's cool. That's awesome. So, what do you win for the competition if you win?
Well, we just get, we're not sure if we win anything, but we just get the experience to try to advance our robot.
That's great. And it's amazing that you guys are so dedicated to this. And thank you so much. Thank you. And next we'll have, I'm actually not sure who. So, thank you so much.
Well, actually, hi. Today I have with me someone from the New Mexico Air Force. So tell us, what do you do?
So I'm from the Air Force Research Lab on the base down in Albuquerque, Kirtland Air Force Base. And we're here to demonstrate what the Air Force does when it comes to research to support all the systems that the Air Force uses when it's out in the field doing all of the national security work that it does overseas.
So, in which way do you support STEM? And why do you think it's important?
Well, our organization, the Research Lab, is heavily dependent upon people who have expertise in STEM. In particular, we employ a lot of scientists and engineers who are doing work for particular technologies that we need, what we call the next generation of technologies that our Air Force warfighters need to help them do their missions when they're overseas.
So what are some of the things that you're teaching and showing and demonstrating here in your booth?
So today we're showing a particular technology for satellites. So part of what we do on the base down in Albuquerque is we build satellites for a living. So one of the elements of satellites is that the electronics in satellites get really hot, and there's not a really good way to cool them. So we have pioneered a way to create the satellite structure, the metal that makes up the satellite, so that it can easily take the heat out of the satellite and away from the spacecraft.
There's students and their kids that come to STEM if they could only bring one thing and get one thing out of this whole experience. What would that be?
Well, the fact that science and engineering and the whole STEM field, science, technology, engineering, math, are really important to our economy, right? Our security, in large part, depends on our economy. And in today's day and age, you really need to understand technology in order to thrive in your business community. So if you are a startup, if you want to do a startup business like Facebook, or you want to be part of Google, if you want to build robots, you need to understand some of the underpinnings of that technology. And so it's important for folks here in New Mexico to know that that's a good place that they can make a living, and that a lot of those jobs actually are here in the state nearby.
Can you elaborate on some of the jobs that might be out there for kids who are interested and think that they won't make a living on it?
Sure. So if you are part of, or if you wanted to be a part of the Air Force, so I'm a civilian, and there's plenty of openings and jobs for people who have some expertise in engineering and science. They can definitely work in the Air Force, or you can work for some companies that support the Air Force. There's a few satellite companies in Albuquerque. If you're interested in computer science, we're starting to see a lot of companies grow their businesses here in the state. Probably the most well-known is here in Santa Fe, a company called Descartes Labs. They do a lot of geospatial data engineering and analysis, and they're a growing business. And so if you would want to work for somebody like them, you would need to have a background in math or engineering or science.
What would you advise kids who are just now getting
I would say, even though it might seem difficult at times or challenging to learn mathematics, for instance, or science, go ahead and try to learn some subjects maybe that you don't think that you have the capability. You'd be surprised at what you could actually learn and find out. And then go ahead and, if you're interested in these technologies or just in these fields, the internet has got a ton of great stuff to help you become more educated on and understand if you have the desire, maybe you like some of the things that you're seeing. I would go online and really look at that and understand if it's something that you might want to do. Just that I'm really enthusiastic personally about STEM education, and I just encourage anyone who wants to make a better living for themselves, or wants to invent stuff, maybe even if you want to be an entrepreneur, go ahead and look into the sciences, look into technology, look into the engineering fields, and grasp onto some things that might be helpful for you to learn how to be in those fields. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Aviva. This is Shanti from Paseo Project. Tell me a little bit about Paseo Project and what you guys do.
Alright, so I work with the Paseo Project. We are an arts organization. We just turned 5 years old. We're going on our 6th year. We bring art into the streets of Taos. They're interactive, projection, transformative installations for downtown Taos. Everything's free. We work with funding all year to make sure that all participants can come for free and that all our community members can.
And what is it?
This is the second weekend of September. It's nighttime, 7 to 11, Friday and Saturday.
And tell me about your school program.
So the Paseo Project, one of our long-term missions is transform transforming community through art, and community also transforms the kind of art that we bring to Taos and that we share with the world. And so we partner different artists each year, and we bring them into schools. We develop an online curriculum, and we bring art to classrooms. And it's a bridging component. Some of them, that's the only art class that they have all year. Others, it's a nice bridging factor for science and math classes. We usually work with science teachers or art teachers, and then there's a lot of collaboration where they're able to kind of guide their students into different.
What are you working on for 2019?
Our goals are to, well, I can't divulge too much on what we're working on, mainly because we're still developing it. But one of our biggest goals this year is to double our impact within our community. So right now we're in 12 schools, middle and high. We are trying to expand that to all of the middle and high schools of Taos County, which is hard, everyone knows. It goes from West High going to Penasco, and everyone just remembers like Taos High, Taos Middle School, and maybe one of the charters or private schools. And they're like, that's all there is. I'm like, oh no, there's more. But we're also working on expanding to adult workshops, because no matter how often we work with kids, if we don't train the teachers or community leaders in Taos, they cannot pass on the knowledge to another year. So if there's a year you can't go to a classroom, or if it's an alternating school, say we only have 3 workshops a year, and we choose a different school, if we don't train the teachers, they can't use that technology or those curriculum tools on a yearly basis to teach the next wave of kids. And so we're just trying to expand who we're impacting and the quality of impact that we have.
That's so good. Thank you so much for your work. So that is all we have for the interviews for this top of the hour, but we will be back at noon with some more interviewees to show you. This is True Kids 1 live streaming from the Santa Fe Roundhouse. Thank you so much for tuning in.